All right, rise and shout. The Cougars are out. BYU is in the Big 12 championship game against Texas Tech with the college football playoff berth on the line. The Cougars are hoping to avenge that 29-7 loss from earlier this year.
All right, joining us now to preview this game is BYU Radio host Matt Baiamonte. Matt, thanks for being here. We appreciate it.
Glad to be here on the eve of such a momentous college football game.
Okay, so what's at stake for this game for BYU?
Well, what's at stake is simply a trip to the CFP. BYU being ranked 11th right now has them on the outside looking in, and there's teams in front of them that will not be playing this week. And Notre Dame, that key comparison that the committee has looked at so often, they're not playing. Their season's over. Now, the winner of the Big 12, guys, they automatically get into the CFP. So if BYU wins, which is a tall task, they are into the CFP. If not, barring a change of heart from a committee that has been very disrespectful towards BYU, I don't see them getting in.
Okay, and speaking of the task at hand, what does BYU have to do to beat Texas Tech? I mean, there are very few weaknesses to that Texas Tech team.
This Texas Tech team has been dominant. They only have one loss to Arizona State. All their wins have been greater than 20 points. That's something that has rarely been done in college football. Only other 6 teams have beaten each opponent on their schedule by more than 20 points in the history of college football. So what they have done is very much historic. However, you think back to that 29-7 loss, I think there are some things that BYU can take advantage of. First and foremost, they have to take care of the football. I do believe that wind was a factor in that loss. I think that contributed to that opening fumble from Parker Kingston on the punt return. Weather won't be an issue inside AT&T Stadium in Arlington. And then they have to find a way to run the football. Texas Tech has been a good running team this year. They ran it for over 100 yards in that win against BYU. BYU only had 60-some-odd rushing yards in that loss against Texas Tech, and 12 of them came on the first carry of the game. L.J. Martin, the offensive player of the year in the Big 12, he was coming back from an injury that took him out of the the win against Iowa State. They've got to find a way to run the football. They can take care of the ball, run the football, which is easier said than done. I think they'll have a good chance to avenge that loss against Texas Tech.
LJ a lot stronger now. We've seen the last few games.
Yeah, LJ's been fantastic. As I just noted, the offensive player in the year in the Big 12, that's no small feat. He's over 1,000 yards on the season. That's something that puts him in elite company in BYU with the likes of Tyler Algier, who's in the NFL, with the likes of Jamal Williams, who is an NFL player, and other greats, Harvey Unga, Luke Staley, to name other great BYU running backs. He has been the difference in some of these big wins for BYU. You think about that win against Utah, the win on the road against Arizona, both top 25 wins. LJ was the catalyst for those wins. He has looked fantastic of late. He was great against UCF. He was great again Cincinnati, where he had over 200 yards rushing. They've got to establish LJ if they're going to take home the Big 12 championship. Okay,
so what do you expect in terms of travel for BYU fans going to this game? Will we see a lot there?
Well, my flights down there were almost $2,000, so I think the travel is going to be fantastic. I would say over a week ago, you could probably get flights for, look, they were still super expensive for Salt Lake to Dallas, in the low hundreds, 800, 900. Now you can't even get a flight, and you can't even get a ticket. Earlier in the week, tickets were in the nosebleed, close to $200 for one seat inside AT&T Stadium. Now it's near impossible to get a ticket. I think BYU is going to travel in droves. Guys, it's been almost 20 years since BYU has won a conference championship. And it's been nearly 30 years since BYU has played in a conference championship game. BYU has desperately wanted this stage to compete at the highest levels of college football. They have a chance to do it tomorrow. BYU fans have been waiting for this forever. So I think all day long in Salt Lake Airport, you're going to see a lot of royal blue, and I think there's going to be a huge contingency. It's a sellout. This is one of the largest attended games in terms of tickets bought already in Big 12 championship game history. It's going to be electric, and there's going to be a lot of blue inside AT&T.
Oh, yeah. Maybe this is BYU's time, right? Okay, Kalani Sitake, we could have had a major distraction, with the potential job offer from Penn State, but they took care of that right away, so maybe that plays in the Cougars' favor as well.
I think it absolutely plays in the Cougars' favor. Imagine at the start of the week not knowing if your coach, who you were recruited by and who you signed a letter of intent to play for, was not going to be your coach. That is tremendous uncertainty for a student athlete to not know what the future holds. And yet, BYU's administration, their athletic director, Brian Santiago, their president, Shane Reese, they got the extension done. It was in the words of Brian Santiago, guys, a significant investment. Video that leaked afterwards where he told the team, I'm not going anywhere. There was a huge applause from this team. I can only imagine this was a galvanizing factor for those players. They already have a lot of motivation to avenge the loss, knowing that they are outside looking into the CFP, but then you retain your coach. That's a kind of a perfect whirlwind of energy and momentum heading into this championship game.
All right, Matt, thank you so much for chatting with us. A big game tomorrow. We appreciate it.
Anytime, guys. Go Cougs.
All right. Yep. Go Cougs. All right, Matt. We'll see you.